The global video game market is worth approximately $220.79 billion annually and continues to grow at a rate of over 12.9% annually. That's a hefty sum, almost double the revenue from streaming music. With so much money in circulation, it's no wonder that competition is fierce. In video games, there are classics and other things that people ignore, but that doesn't mean they're bad. Developers are always trying to find the next big game. But it's a complex business that requires skill, business acumen, and a little luck. Some games fail because they should fail. They are just not good. Others haven't been successful for various reasons, but may be worth revisiting. Here are 10 games that failed but were actually good. Number 10, Spec Ops, The Line.
Another group coming out of that cargo container! Hostile down! Here I go! Eyes wide, they're getting close! In Christ! Move, move, move! It's a fucking ambush! Take cover! Here it comes. I'm reloading! Hostile moving! Heads up! Loading! Keep them off me!
Hostile is fucking down. Okay.
There were games with more complex combat scenarios than The Line, and when the game hit the market in 2012, the competition in the third-person shooter genre was fierce. The game struggled to make an impact, sales were disappointing, and Line's fundamental problem was marketing. Neither publisher 2K Games nor developer, Jaeger Development highlighted how the game differs from its rivals. But it is not the truth. Players find themselves in a morally ambiguous world with seemingly no right choices. A powerful story that captures the tragedy of war in a realistic way. As word spread and sales picked up, The Line remained highly regarded. Number 9, Duke Nukem Forever.
Let's see what they look like.
Ugly incoming!
Many players grew up with Duke Nukem. The first game in the series was released in 1991. The fourth installment extended the series forever in 2011. Duke Nukem's game may not appeal to everyone. Teen humor and macho culture are not to everyone's taste. This is not political correctness. The game took a staggering 14 years to develop and holds a Guinness World Record. Duke Nukem Forever sees our heroes come back from retirement and return to work, saving Earth from an alien invasion. Forever isn't selling well. Critics point out that the graphics are outdated and the trademark humor is a bit heavy. There are many new things in the market that will attract potential customers. However, die-hard Nukem fans thought it wasn't a bad match. We give fans everything they want. Number 8, Wizardry 8.
Good. Take this.
Ishtar Marizan de Volo. I'm on it.
Understood.
The eighth installment in the Witchcraft series and the final installment in the trilogy, the game has been critically acclaimed in the gaming world. Developer and publisher Surtech first released the game in 2001. In 2003, they quit the development business but continued to support The Witcher 8, and re-released the game in 2014 to rave reviews and various awards. And it worked. But it takes time. Maybe one problem is that it's the last part of a trilogy.
Understood.
It was a risky venture as the seller wanted the first two to buy the third. After all, no one buys only the last part of something. Naturally, this tends to limit sales. Another possible problem is that it was released 9 years after The Witcher 7, and the series lost a bit of momentum at the same time. Number 7, Psychonauts.
I've been coming here for years, and trust me, nothing ever happens.
Yeah, Dogan, Lily's right. You don't got nothing to worry about. Except for that giant monster in the lake.
Look over that way, if you will.
Wow, what's that?
Oh, that's a Psi challenge marker. The staff scatters these all over the camp to test the students. Every one of these you find advances you a whole rank.
I love Coach Oleander! He's so nice, and he knows everything!
In 2004, Tim Schafer, the head of Double Fine Productions, said of his company Psychonauts that they were developing what could humbly be called the greatest game of all time. Quite a claim. After more than 4 years of development, Psychonauts finally hit the market in 2005. In 2001, Microsoft accepted the game and wanted to make it part of the Xbox console library. The company changed its mind in 2004 and decided to make the game available for Windows as well. During the development process, we encountered various setbacks that were difficult for everyone to deal with. However, when Psychonauts finally came out, it was well received by critics and won various awards. But critics are not customers, and the paying public doesn't want to buy it. Publisher Majesco lost money and said it didn't want anything to do with console games. Double Fine has taken over the rights to Psychonauts and made it available on a wider range of platforms. Sales skyrocketed, eventually reaching 1.7 million copies. Number 6, Pathologic and Pathologic 2.
Calm down.
Pathologic 2 had to overcome the problems that arose in the first part. The Russian company Icepick Lodge released the original game in 2005 and it was a huge success in Russia. However, the English version of this survival game was not well received. Critics point out that the translation is poor and the graphics don't reach scratches. Some praised the overall concept and atmosphere, but the general consensus was that the game was clunky, at least in English. Of course, the impression was that sales fell as a result. However, Ice Pick Lodge thought they had a winning idea and decided to launch Pathologic 2 in 2019. Pathologic 2 is a much improved game. It had to convince disappointing buyers of the original, but it managed to do so and gain new fans. The two games are as different as chalk and cheese. Despite its shortcomings, Pathologic 1 is still worth checking out. Number 5, Little Big Adventure 2.
This statue pays tribute to Zoe and me. Without her, I could have never defeated the infamous Fun Frog. Lighthouse at the end of the island. Hello, miss.
Hello, Mr. Twinsen. I'd like to take the kids to the Flowers Circle, but the weather's just too bad.
Hello. I'm trying to find the School of Magic.
Hello. I know where it is, but I don't have the right to tell you.
Little Big Adventure 2 was released in the United States in 1997 under the name Twinson's Odyssey. Many potential buyers consider this game a children's game but should reconsider. Critics described the single-player adventure game as fascinating, original, and fun. Available for MS-DOS and Windows, it was very sophisticated at the time and gained a cult following. The game may be perfected, but the marketing isn't. This may be due to the inexperience of developer Adeline Software. A small team of 21 people works on the LBA. Some have only worked in one previous game. While this has its drawbacks, it also allows teams to use their collective imagination. As such, it was a very complex game at the time, and it still has considerable appeal today. Number 4, Okami. Developed by Clover Studio, the Japanese game Okami is a visual feast. The game combines Japanese mythology with classic Japanese folklore to create an engaging world of action and adventure. Critics love it and consistently rate the game at the top of their charts. Its impressive visuals earned Okami the BAFTA Award for Achievement in Game Art. It was the last game on the PlayStation 2 before the PlayStation 3 came out. The fundamental problem is marketing. The developer failed to highlight the game's huge strengths and find a niche. As a result, sales of this masterpiece after its 2006 release were disappointing. Nintendo has adapted it, and the high-definition version has boosted sales, but there are still many players who miss the opportunity. Some reviewers still describe the Okami as a hobbyist's must-have. Number 3, Beyond Good and Evil.
Mr. Hovercraft ain't doing too good.
Gotta hold on till we get to Mama Goes. They've got what we need.
In the eyes, eh? That's his Achilles heel!
Go get him, girl! Now! Eyes are coming!
The original version of Beyond Good and Evil had no serious issues. Several reviewers pointed out a few glitches, but nothing serious. Publisher Ubisoft released the game for a variety of platforms in 2003 and was well received by critics. Unfortunately, the public wasn't convinced that sales were so low that some retailers were quick to slash prices by as much as 80%. Beyond Good and Evil is a very good game. The problem is, it's not enough to convince people that it should be added to their collection. In a competitive marketplace, being good enough is not enough. Designers have to find unique selling points to make their games stand out. Still, those who bought Beyond Good and Evil in the bargain box were happy with their purchase. Number 2, Radiata Stories.
Well, they do say clothes make the man. You look like quite the little lord.
Yeah!
Ha! Ha! Ha!
Yeah!
Yeah! Ha!
Gunsbreaker! Brace yourself! Ha!
Although the role-playing game did well in its native Japan, when it was released in 2005, there was a general lack of enthusiasm among the American public. Developed by Tri-Ace and published by Square Enix, Radiata may not be quite complete for the modern gaming public. One reviewer said it would be an ideal game for beginners. By 2005, people had grown accustomed to more challenging fares. It's not a bad game, but it could have done better if the designers targeted a younger audience. The people behind Radiata didn't spend enough time thinking about their target market, and the game was caught in a dilemma. This is a common problem in the video game world. Number 1, Creatures, Raised in Space.
1,000 years ago, the ancient race of She left their disc-shaped world of Albia in search of a more spherical planet to live on.
British publisher Conspiracy Entertainment's Raised in Space has become a classic since its 2002 release. The problem is that cult classics are not mainstream sellers. This strategy game raises the same ethical questions as other games in the series. Some critics have compared the creature to the electronic pet craze. If an electronic egg passes by, it is a digital pet launched by Bandai Japan in 1996, and owners must take good care of their pets. Creatures certainly have a similar theme, as players act as watchmen, which may not appeal to fans of action games. There will always be a market for these kinds of games, but the market is relatively small. Some retailers immediately started offering games at discounted prices. Still, it's challenging, entertaining, and engaging with fans. In fact, it's refreshing to see some developers not planning to jump into the mass market right away. Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video, and subscribe to the channel.